Hey, what is up, guys? Flex Media here, bringing you yet another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. Now, this fella, Unparalleled Golden Key Super Vegito, just affectionately known as, AGL Super Vegito, he is finally getting his EZA on the global side of the game, and this is obviously very exciting. So, number one, for the actual event, you get a ton of stone, 30 stone, well, actually like 34 stones if you count missions. Assuming you can complete them all. And then, of course, you'll be getting a bunch of orbs. You'll be getting a bunch of Grand Kais. It's overall just a really, really good time, right? Now, as you can see, his release date is on April 10th, 2020. So there you go, guys. So before you even ask, that's when he drops, April the 10th. And then, obviously, that's going to depend, basically, like, April 9th, 10th, depending on where you live, right? That's basically what it boils down to. But I want to go over this guy and just kind of give my 2 cents, and then I want to make sure that you guys are prepared for his actual Extreme Z battle. So let's go over him real quick. We don't need to really look at his pre-EZA stuff. You guys kind of already know, right? So his leader skill, post-awakening, is AGL type, key 4, 100% to stats. Now, this is essentially already set in stone, so that is no surprise there. All of these 70% leaders got that exact same leader skill just for their own typing. So yeah, no shocker. His super attack is the Spirit Sword, and it's going to cause immense damage to the enemy and then raise allies' attack by 35%, which is up by 5% from his pre-EZA super attack, right? So he was only raising it by 30%. So 35%, that's very, very nice, right? He's going to be a good candidate to keep in the first slot. So he's going to have that same thing that like STR Rose has, where he's raising allies' attack. And then not to mention for the rest of his passive, it's going to be a good idea to keep him in the first slot. So let's kind of go over it real quick. So Flawless Combat is his passive. And that is attack and defense 40% within the same turn after receiving attack. Foresees enemy super attack when HP is 40% or less. Damage received with normal attacks is minus 80%, and he's going to counter with tremendous power. And then his links: Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, prepared for battle, power bestowed by God, fused fighter, shocking speed, and fierce battle. His categories: Majin Buu Saga, Potara, Super Saiyans, Last Resort. So let's start with his links, and then we'll kind of go over his passive a little bit. So his links: Golden Warrior, Super Saiyan, prepared for battle. Basically, these links, what they're indicating is that he's going to fit in on any single category that he's in, any one of them. So he's got shocking speed, he's got prepared for battle, he's got fused fighter, so that, shocking speed, he's going to fit in. He's going to link up right with the, let's see, just for instance, like the STR Ultimate Gohan, right? Like, he's got shocking speed, just for instance, on that Majin Buu Saga. Obviously, fused fighter on the Potara team, prepared for battle on the Super Saiyans team, Last Resort team. He's just overall, like, his links are super, super strong. And that's one of the reasons why he's so good and so versatile. So just starting there, like, I don't want to completely just, like, crap on this guy, because I think that he gets a bad rap. Let's go over his passive and kind of digest it a little bit if you are unfamiliar. So attack and defense 40% within the same turn after receiving attack. That is the worst part of his passive, in all honesty. It's just like, after receiving an attack, the thing is he's got this massive damage reduction, minus 80% on normals. So when you give him his passive, when you give him his passive and it only kicks in after he receives an attack, as you guys probably know by now, if he gets super attacked before he takes a normal attack, he's going to get absolutely mollywopped. Just, they're going to wipe the floor with him. He's going to get hit for massive damage because he'll literally have no passive. He'll have no passive active at all unless he gets hit by a normal attack. Well, I mean, he can get hit by the super attack. You're just probably going to die. That's, just kind of how it goes. So you're only going to have the defense from the leader skill, and support, of course, and all of those things. So that's kind of why people wasn't a real, and I'm not like a super, super big fan of it, honestly, especially considering what they did with Fizz Vegito Blue, where they made him literally the best EZA in the game. And then this guy, when he originally came out, he was far and away the best unit in the game. You'd never seen anything like the counter mechanic before. 80% damage reduction on normals was just crazy. That was during a time where you didn't really need a ton of defense. You know, and obviously he tanks everything, he counters. So obviously, you know, also another thing to point out is probably giving him crit is going to be a good idea, so you can get those crit counters. You know, I mean, just like I said, you just never seen anything like him before, and for them to kind of give him this treatment where they really, really held back. You cannot argue, I'm sorry, you cannot change my mind that they did not hold back. They could have easily given him 40% attack and defense start a turn. It's just that simple. And then you keep it the exact same, the rest of it exactly the same. And he's so much better. And then this foreseeing super attack when HP is 40% or less. Dude, even if it's 50% or less, 60, 70% or less, 40%, it's too restrictive. 40% is a number that you seldom see. You know, it's the same thing with, you know, LR Cell, his transformation, that 30%, you know, restriction. Obviously, 30% is even more difficult to get than 40%. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, you are barely ever going to see that foreseeing super attacks. If he did that all the time, he would be close to probably one of the better TURs in the game, or the like. The idea that he'd be able to see super attacks is perfect if you leave that first part of his passive alone, because then you could, you know, he could avoid a super attack, right? But it only kicks in when you're 40% or less. So the whole way they built him, I get what they were going for. They didn't want to make him too broken with the counters and stuff. I get it, but it's like, look what they did to Fizz Vegito Blue. You can't tell me they couldn't have done the same thing. And what I hope happened is they learned from their mistake in doing this, and they went ahead and gave physical Vegito Blue, you know, the blessings they gave him, you know, because he's, I would say, almost undoubtedly like the best TUR in the game, at least the best EZA in the game. Now, Spirit Sword Trunks, he's going to be quite good. He's at least going to be a hard hitter. But Fizz Vegito Blue, just everything he does, he just completely outclasses this guy. And it's just such a shame, because when this guy came out, he completely broke the game. He was just by far and away the best unit in the game. Even his leader skill back in the day. AGL type, all AGL type, key 3, and 70% to all stats. That was not real common. That wasn't a common occurrence. Usually you got one or the other, key or HP, attack and defense, or sometimes just like attack and defense. You know, it wasn't real common to have all of that, you know, be a thing. So anyway, guys, I want to make sure that you guys are prepared. I guess we can look at his stats real quick. Tremendous power multipliers, 300%. We should all probably know that by now, but let's go ahead and take a look at his final stats. 18,705 attack, 10,000 defense, 18,000 and some change for his HP. I mean, he's still really good, but they could have done more. And the reason why I wanted them to do more is because of how broken he was when he first came out. But I want to make sure you guys are prepared for his actual Extreme Z battle event. So let's kind of go over that real quick. Okay, so this is his Extreme Z battle event. As you can see, as you go level by level, you can see he starts getting additional damage reduction. So right here, he starts to get additional damage reduction of 40% against Super STR. So that's after level 3. After level 7, additional damage reduction 50% against Super AGL and Super STR. Now this is that the characters that are SSR or lower can only cause less than 2 million damage. This is, you know, we've mentioned it before. This is because of Devilman and his, you know, 1% passive. I guess people were abusing it to finish EZAs. I mean, I get it sort of, but also it's like 1% of the time. Anyway, additional damage reduction 60% against Super AGL after level 12. After level 14, so starting level 15, you know, you're up against the Dokkan Awakened version of him. And then after level 16, an additional damage reduction of 70%, Super AGL, Super Tech, Super STR, and Super Fizz. So at this point, all int is going to be able to do normal damage to him, but then after level 19, additional damage reduction of 80% against all int, and then super AGL, super tech, super STR, super fizz, and then let's keep going here, and then there you go. So he's going to do, you're going to do well if you have extreme units, and then he's doing additional 80% damage reduction against the super type. So if you have extreme in there, you should be all right. And I would just recommend just straight up doing an extreme tech team, and we'll go over why here. I mean, you guys can probably figure it out, but let's go over it. So, event restrictions. I mean, you guys should know this by now if you've ever run an EZA. So, you can't use Devil Man, essentially, to one-hit KO him. You know, you can't use stones to revive yourself. 0 stamina until you know, are rerunning the same levels. I mean, you guys get it, right? You're going to need... Let's see. How many metals? So you need 15 bronze, 40 silver, 30 gold, and 30 rainbow, which is, you know, that's always the same for basically any EZA, true EZA. But I didn't want to just skim over it here, but characters that are transformation boost category can take less damage, mitigate Super Vegito's damage reduction, and cause increased damage. However, they won't be able to bypass Super Vegito's damage reductions against specific types. So real quick, so we've been over the event. It's pretty straightforward. Just use your best transformation boost team or extreme tech team. I kind of want to give you like the best of both worlds. I'm going to go ahead and hop over to the game. All right, guys. So here we are. This is probably the team I'm just going to rock. It's essentially, it's like sort of like a Resurrected Warriors, but it's all transformation boost. That's the key. So let's kind of check it out here. It's pretty simple, right? This guy is not going to take any damage at all. This guy, if you get to turn 4, he can absolutely nuke Vegito. Tech Cell, as long as you get him some orbs, he's going to be just fine. He stacks attack and defense. He's going to do just fine. This guy's providing support, and then this guy can heal you. I mean, it's just pretty simple, right? But let's kind of just check it out. We are on transformation boost already. So realistic, let's just say we want to change, I don't know, you. But realistically, I mean, any of these extreme type units, you're going to be able to go ahead and use. You know, this guy would be obviously a solid choice. This free-to-play cooler, he fits under the build there. You could even run a straight up, like a full target Goku team as well, if you manage to pull this guy. A lot of these guys that are on my team already are on target Goku, but I think it's just going to be easier if this is the team you sort of build. I just think that it's very clear, right? Because your options, so let's go to extreme, are not, you don't have a ton of options. I guess you have quite a few options, but you're not going to obviously want to run any STR against him. So that kind of limits your options. So if we take out STR, you know, this is what you're looking at right here. So not a huge roster to choose from. So just make a team that's similar to this one, and obviously you're going to do just fine. So transformation boost is the category, and I hope you guys are prepared. So this drops on the 10th. I'm recording this on the 8th. And guys, just get ready, because he's good. And like I said, I don't mean to just completely shit on him, but they could have done better. But I definitely will showcase him and such for you guys. But slap a like if you enjoyed it, and then consider subscribing if you're new. I'm trying to bring you guys content every single day. And I'll catch you in the next one. Later.